amount of window dressing is going to satisfy members of this House. They want to see clear legal changes to the document that the government presented to this House. The Foreign Secretary said the Prime Minister has not been asking for anything new in her discussions with the European Union. She doesn't tell us, so doesn't that tell us that the Prime Minister has been recklessly wasting time holding the country to ransom with the threat of no deal in a desperate attempt to blackmail MPs to vote for her hopelessly unpopular deal?
Prime Minister.
The right honourable gentleman can say what he likes about no deal, but he opposes any deal that the government has negotiated with the European Union. He opposes the deal. He opposes the deal that the EU say is the only deal, and that leaves him with no deal. The only way to avoid no deal is to vote for the deal. If the right honourable gentleman is uncertain about what I am saying, perhaps I can give him a tip. He might like to use a lip reader.
Jeremy Corbyn.
The Prime Minister says that it's the only deal available. If that is the case, why wasn't it put to a vote on December the 11th in this House? Why has there been a delay of 5 weeks on this? The Prime Minister said she hopes to get written assurances before the vote next week. So can I ask the Prime Minister this? Will the changes she is looking for be made to the legally binding withdrawal agreement itself?
Prime Minister.
Can I say to the right honourable gentleman, as I have said earlier in my remarks, and I've said previously, there are 3 elements that we are looking at. One is the undertakings and assurances we are looking for from the European Union, and those will be available. We intend that those will be available to the House before the House votes at the end of this debate. We are also looking at what more we can do domestically. I've set out, the Secretary of State will be clearer and more detail will set out what we're going to do in relation to the powers for Northern Ireland and in relation to the question of the role of Parliament for the future. And we are looking to ensure that we can provide the assurance and confidence that this House needs in relation to the question that has been at the forefront of members' concerns in relation to the backstop. But we've put a good deal on the table. Yes, we are looking for those clarifications which I'm sure will ensure that members of this House know that the backstop need never be used, and that if it is used, it is only temporary.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Well, in the midst of that very long answer, I didn't hear the words legal changes to the document. That was what my question was, Mr. Speaker. The Environment Secretary has said no deal would damage the UK farming sector. The Foreign Secretary has said that no deal is not something any government would wish on its people. The £4.2 billion of public money is being wastefully allocated to no-deal planning. Will the Prime Minister listen to the clearly expressed will of the House last night, end this costly charade and rule out no deal?
Prime Minister.
I've made it clear to the right honourable gentleman that if he wants to avoid no deal, he has to back a deal and back the deal. But he stands there and complains about money being spent on no deal preparation. So today, on Wednesday, he's saying we shouldn't be spending money on no deal preparations. On Monday, he said no deal preparations were too little, too late. He can't have it both ways. Either we're doing too much or we're doing too little. So perhaps he can break his usual habit and actually give us a decision. Which is it?
Corbyn.
This is the first time since 1978 that a Prime Minister has been defeated in the Finance Bill in the House of Commons. Last night, the House made it clear in supporting the amendment in the name of my friend, the member for Normanton, Pontefract and Castleford, that no deal should be ruled out. That is the position of this House. The UK automotive industry has written to the Prime Minister in December asking her to take no deal option off the table or risk destroying this vital UK industry. Given this House has now rejected no deal, will the Prime Minister protect thousands of skilled jobs in the automotive industry and others and rule out no deal?
Prime Minister.
Can I say I recognise that the Right Honourable Gentleman welcomed the leadership that the Right Honourable Lady, the member from Normanton, had given on the issue that he's referred to. I just want to be clear that the amendment does not change the fact that the UK is leaving the European Union on the 29th of March, and nor does it stop the government from collecting tax. But he asks once again about the question of no deal and about protecting jobs. We have negotiated a deal with the European Union that protects jobs. We have negotiated a deal with the European Union that ensures what is raising concerns, he says, is the prospect of no deal. It is absolutely sensible for this government to prepare for no deal, and those preparations are even more important given the position taken by the Right Honourable Gentleman. With an opposition front bench that is opposed to any deal that the government negotiates with the European Union, it's even more important that we prepare for no deal. The deal protects jobs and security and delivers on the referendum, and he should back it.
Jeremy